Let there be light, and there was light. Okay, words of the said God, Mother Eve. We are continuing to explore the scriptures in the sense of understanding the patterns of vibrations. Really, now that seem to be more of the essence of the learning, how we can understand the gods, the 14 gods of Genesis, what vibration or how the vibration or how the energy works. By the way, the word energy equals 11, and that's of course how Christ, Jesus, the word Jesus equals 11. So we have energy as Jesus in this sense. We can see why again with the vibration of 11, how profound that is, because 11 has in it 9. So there's a 9-11 there. So we can see how anyone could almost run with this and put whatever labels, they want to attach, or beliefs or practices. Well, yes, and of course it can be, as we see, it's that number that that really 11 really holds the vibration of making a catastrophic change, if you like, or really is that the correct term? Major changes, and that is for all the particularly all the uneven numbers. But I think apart from 2, I would say, because 2 has in it the number 13. It consists of 13 in that sacrifice template here, right here. And of course there is a reason for that, because it falls under this 2. That means there's 2 13s. Of course 13 is 4 and 2 4s are 8. So but we see that there is something very significant about in fact 2 is perhaps the only number that you can add and multiply it by itself and gives you the even or the same. So 2 2s are 4, and 2 plus 2 is also 4. We could say 3 3s 9. We can't say 3 3s or 3 plus 3 is 6, not 9. So you get my meaning on this. So 2 is very strong, and that is why, of course, it shows up in this template, and that is where Christ had. And I said this from the start, without having all this evidence, if we like, all the numbers. But I said this is where Christ really was at the table with the disciples, and this is where they shook hands. This is where the ritual takes place. Because no matter what is happening there, whenever we go back to rituals, we are reinforcing. The word re is also in Revelation. So we are revisiting this SA right here, 1 plus 2, which is free, which is giving us free. So we revisit this, and it's the same as 3 plus 6, which gives us 9. Whenever we come with 2, it is that marriage, it is harmony, it is togetherness, it is unity, it is all those things. This is why Christ said 2 cannot agree, or 2 cannot walk unless they agree. So it'd be interesting to do the word agree, just to see. But we see already Mother Eve is very present there. So unless they agree, I write, this is the time of day for me, 559. Of course, there is a re here as well, R-E, in agree. So 7-1. Okay, let's add this. This is 17 I'm 27. So 27, 2 plus 7 is 9. So unless they have basically with 9, the word agree is to be total, have a total conviction right there. And in 9, of course, you have beginning and end. So you have to agree all the way. You don't have agree, you agree. And that's what we are talking about. So, where was I? Yeah. Well, I was on this one, or was I on this one? Okay, yeah. So I was looking at, I remember where I was, the gods are with me. So I wanted to look at revisit, talking about RE. Yes. So I have done a presentation covering this, how we look at the crux from the word crucifixion, because this is what all this is about, the crucifixion, which I have been looking at here. Now, the crucifixion, of course, I think it's going to be a long series. Well, but it's giving so much information, and it's so delicious because things that we had not seen, they are just showing up really. They're there. Yeah. Just trying to get my lighting. Okay, I'll just seem like, bear with me. Okay. Oh, I'm not sure I have done it. Okay. Let's work with this one for now. And so we've done rose again, and on the third day. So they were the points that I felt was important to address. Christ died and he rose again. So on the third day, this is it. On the third day, he rose again. On the third day. Let's see if I can find it here, because I just want to put it in order. So and after, wow. Okay, it's on, and he was buried, and he rose again on the third day. Okay, so he rose again on the third day. So, we did do on the, and had 8. We came up with 8 because this is 2 and this is 6. So we have 8 on the third day. But I was looking at just these 2 words, rose again, third day, because that's the crux of everything that glues Christianity, for instance. And so we see there was a pattern. There is a pattern, because rose is 3 and again is 5. We have Mother Eve here signifying 5. And we have talked about how this A is that A that's in the middle of the heart, where Christ bonded with the disciples on the middle of the heart, which, because it falls, the B that I'm talking about, or 2, it falls under the A right here. So this A, meaning the S is Mother Eve, right here as the 3, and Christ rose here with the A. The A is that which he gave life to again. It's in the middle of the heart. That's where the bonding. When he and the disciples agreed, they became equal, so they formed a bond. And that's what the equal signs are here, to form a bond between the 12 disciples and Christ. And we can see that 13, of course, became a strong bond. And when he rose, it was the 13. This is he with the disciples. So basically, he is a new cycle again. This is why he already told the disciples, when you break bread, remember me. So in remembering them, they would form a bond again. They would come to an agreement, and the B would be reinforced. And that's how he goes on. So here we see the third day. So he rose again on the third day. Now let's just add all this together just to see how that marries. So we have 8 here, and we have, because what I was pointing out here, the word third equals 5, 23. Yes, so we had 3 plus 5 would give us 8, and we also have here 3 plus 5 is 8. So 8 plus 8 is 16, 1 plus 6 is 7, which is creation, another new creation, which coincides with the word one, meaning one cycle again, which is 5, 5, 6. This comes to 16. 1 plus 6 is 7. We see how that cycle is formed. And so we want to add all these, the he and this 8 right here, and see what the overall numerical value is and how it marries with the teachings of Mother Eve, which we feel that also reflects. So 8 plus 10 here, because that's 5 plus 5 is 10, and so that would be 18. 18 plus 4, so here we have 18 plus 4 is 22. So basically we haven't gone much further. So 22 is 4. So he really, in essence, that's the thing how the scriptures is written. This is the thing that I've noticed. So the first letter, for instance, has the beginning and end of everything in it. So for instance, Mother Eve's spell, when she casts her spell, and the first letter is L. The L here has a numerical value of 3. But when we look at L, which is really a 7 upside down, so it's already giving us a message that it is the 7 upside down, that we need to do the whole cycle of creation with it, where the 7 really stands like this. So L is really the 7. Then, of course, we get a numerical value of 6, which is 24. 2 plus 4 is 6. With this spell, let there be light, and there was light. What we have here, we have in this, and I've done presentations covering these points as well. We need to have the one here, that's the value. We have the L is conveying 3 points right here, and it has a value of 3, and it also has 2 lines, which 2 lines is really 11. So 11 is really 9. So from the word 11 we get 9. But the 3 points is also getting our attention to what the vibration of 3 is really making this 9 work. So what we need to be doing to get 9 becoming a 6. Of course, when we do the numerical value for the word 9, it becomes 6. So we can see the letter L in itself carries phenomenal weight or vibration. Yes, and it's, as I say, it is a letter that is also 7. It really is like telling us it is also 7. And it also has the vibration of the word was. Okay. Or the yes, and of course it also is the like half, because you could have the 7 here and you could have the L, which means that you have formed the whole. So you have 4 points, which is what we have been reflective a lot in what we are doing as 13. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 points right there, which is a square. Perhaps this is what the cube is about as well with the square. I'm just saying. Okay, so that's the thing, perhaps why we ought not to criticize any beliefs at all, or practices. It's just that my concern is that, do people really understand what they are practicing or what they are believing in, or for instance. Okay, and so we have done the whole thing, and we found that, of course, we are left with 4, and this is what perhaps the cross is all about. This is what the cross is all about. Our north, our south, our east, and our west. So by Christ raising up from, he rose again on the 3rd day. On is 8, on the 3rd day. This is what Christianity is based on. I think, yes, the main thing I was going to say, it's not just the sacrifice or the Last Supper, but it's that Christ rose again. So he rose again. He rose a. If you will ask, well, what did Christ do after the 3rd day? He rose a. Now, if we did this in numerical value, for instance, that would be 3 plus 1 would be 4. 4 plus 4 would be 8. And that is now the very same thing as 4. It is the very same thing, 8. This is shorthand writing, or shortcut to understanding the whole crux, as in crucifixion. The whole crux of the matter is, what did Christ do? He rose a. The a is from the middle of the heart. Now we have seen it's the north, south, east, and west. Of course, I have showed this to see how I think it comes to 4 as well. And I won't do it right now, but I want to show how this 8 that we are adding here, 1a has the numerical value of 1, 3 plus 3 is 4, and 13 as 4 is also 8. So let's look at 8, because we came up with 4 right here. And this is interesting. So EIGHT is 2, 7. No, this is 8, 7, 9, 5. Of course, we see Mother Eve is always present in these affairs. So this is 10, 26, 31. So we can see he had everything in him right here. We can see, in fact, there's another shortcut to all of this, is that we see we have 13 here for he. There's 3 and 1. 3 from the word rose and 1 from the letter A. And this is what we have right there. So 31, I think what I am getting here is that, just like we have learned the timetable, there is a shortcut that we can devise to understand all of this. Like the word 8, we know it equals 31, and that means it would just mean he rose a, because it is directly rose a. Arose. That's all it's we could, of course, it's arose. And all of Revelation that we have been talking is all about a rose. It's about a petal flower. On here I have been talking about an 8-petal flower. Of course, rightly so, because we can just call it 8, because 8 is whole. 8 is that which is like a rubber band, that it gets twisted, untwisted, it is really whole. And the whole crux of the matter, the crucifixion, is about this completion right there. It's a cycle completing a cycle of life right here, which is not. Going back to not. The word not actually is also 31, I think, or 13. So this is 2, 6, 5. It's 13, 11, 12, 13. So the whole crux of the matter is going back to not. That's what our existence is all about. Going back to not. And here we have, I love this. I really do love this. So the A, and just to reiterate the essence of the A, which is where God says, I am the Alpha and the Omega. Everything is so grandeur, or it's grand. It's been inflated. It has been inflated beyond, almost beyond comprehension. And what I am learning here, we just need to be going as close as possible to understand everything, as close as looking at the letter A in the middle, because that's where Christ was giving the tip, we could say. He said, it's in the heart. Everything is in the heart. This is what Christ was giving the answer. So we have all this. In fact, I've got to do a presentation on this. So before I do this presentation, just to show you that this is what Christ was talking about. So we could see A as 2, which is the Jesus right there. But we could also see Christ as Jesus Christ is 7 actually when we do this, but 7 equals 20 and 20 equals 8. So that's what I mean about I'm going to devise a timetable. Oh my. Okay, so we have 3 points, or we could say to begin with there are two strokes or 2 lines reflecting Jesus. So the 2, 11 come together, but it needs that bar right there to keep it in shape, that it is sturdy. So this sturdiness, of course, is representing Mother Eve here in her first letter. Her first letter, we can see here it's 2 lines as well, but it has 3 points. And so we have 3 points here. This is 3 points, but we have 2 lines with Mother Eve. And so 3 points, 2 lines. We have 5. There was something else I did find with that L. Okay. 3 lines, 2 points. Okay. So here we also have another point here and another point here. If we could call them points, or instead I prefer to call them anchor. So their anchor, we have these 2 anchors here. So all these points here equal 5. Now 5 plus 3 lines would give us 8. So we can see this A is a complete building in itself. That's the pyramid. Now of course the word pyramid equals 5, and we can see why it is there as well, because we have these 5 points here, which equals Mother Eve, Christ, open, key, lock, all of those things equal 5 right there. So we can see how Christ bonded with his disciples. He bonded with his disciples on this second line right here, this A. This is the A that formed the B. Okay. So what we did have, okay, we have added all these, and as I say, we can see that we got with that 8, just as he 5 plus 3 was 8, and 5 plus 3 was 8 as well. And of course we had another 8 as on the, so 3 8s are 24. 24 plus 4 is 28. Is that correct? 28 would be 10. So I'm not sure. Okay, so I added this 10 plus 10 would 8 plus 8 is 16. That's correct. And then we had on the is let's just do this. 16 on the is on is 11, and the, so that would be 8 plus 4 would be 12. So there we have 28. Okay, so 28 is 10. So I'm glad I checked this again. So this would be 10, meaning it is 1, and it's also still reflecting this one here as where Christ had this bond with the disciples. But the other thing that reflects here, which is what I thought was going to happen in the first place, that 10 here is reflective of Mother Eve's words right there, when Mother Eve says let. So the word let equals 10, and just as we have here. So he rose A. So A is what we see is happening right here as well. So he rose A. No matter how we looked at it, it's the same thing. He rose A. Our rose A, if we added rose and A, would be 4. And we have seen how we got 4. There was another thing. Of course, we have seen how we got 4. 4 or 8, sorry. 8. Okay, I think it's the time of day for me as well. So we have 3 lines here, which corresponds with the 3 letters here. We have 1 numerical value here. It corresponds with 1 numerical value here. We have 5 dots here, which is reflective in the middle of 5 here too. But we also have 1, 2, I hope you could see this. 1, 2, 3, and 2 lines. So we could see how 5, the vibration is matching in the middle of the heart as well. Okay, I'm going to watch this. I may have to repeat this presentation or parts of it just to clarify it. Okay, and I'm going to get my lighting as well sorted. So, so much downloads, like they'd say, I've just got so much and I'm feeling it's important for me to just get it out so much. Okay, so thank you for watching, and if you like this presentation, click the like button and share. And I thank my subscribers, I thank my new subscribers, I thank my rock subscribers, my very early subscribers, and if my very first subscriber, which is, I believe I remember the word bomber or something, but I'm going to basically I just want to thank everyone. Love you, love you, love you.